What is going on, guys? It is Blink here, back with another video. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about exactly the reasons on why you're actually not improving on Fortnite. Now, if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, then using code Blink.YT will help me out so much. So thanks to anyone that does use it. Anyways, guys, let's get to it. So what I noticed that a lot of people do is put way too much time in creative on the exact same builds, exact same drills, and just stay in a comfortable circle of builds and drills. The same goes with arena. Players will just build the exact same way when engaging into fights. And you guys have to understand, if you're comfortable, then you won't improve. And this goes with anything in life. That comfort zone is pushing back all the progress you could be making in game and in life. And I know you guys can be way better than where you currently are. I just know it. So get uncomfortable, because this is the key to becoming the best player you guys can ever be. For example, if you've been following the exact same creative warm-up routine for weeks and weeks, and you've already gotten it down pretty well, then adding new drills is what you want to do. A lot of players will try to perfect the exact same routine for weeks and months without switching it up and adding in new ways of improving on their overall movement and mechanics. The same goes for players that create it for 5 to 10 minutes and go on and play solos or squads with their buddies for the next 5 hours. And they repeat this every single day. Yeah, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you might get better at that certain free build or that one edit course you've been doing day in, day out, or you're playing a lot of pubs or arenas and you're fragging out, but it's usually not consistent, and you repeat this day in and day out, not working on your weaknesses, then you're not really going to get any better. So how do you actually go about improving? Well, for example, if you've been getting into fights and you've been getting outplayed in box fights and it's the same reason every single time, like not being able to make the right edits in pressure situations, or you can't figure out what build you should be placing if your opponent takes your cone and floor, then you really need to focus on making those exact edits in creative, or watching those elimination clips back frame by frame and asking yourself what you could have placed to avoid getting eliminated and apply that placement. It's a simple way of actually improving that gets overlooked at. Guys, I want you to rewatch your VODs, and when you do figure out what your issue is, you now practice it and fix that exact issue in creative with a friend or just by yourself, or simply just keep that exact moment engraved in your brain, and once you encounter the same scenario in a pub, place the right structure or make the right edit. Even if you end up placing that build or making the edit late, that's fine, because you now have figured out your weaknesses and have taken action towards them. And that's what you want to do. Find your weaknesses and improve on them. Yes, it can feel like a job starting fresh edits that you don't really enjoy doing and just repeating them in creative constantly, or analyzing your weaknesses and going into creative to build those not so fun materials you have to build over and over. But I know you guys can do it. And I know you're frustrated with months of creative and arena practice and you just feel like you haven't improved. And I'm here to tell you guys that you can change that, and I know you will. So gather all those weaknesses, whether it's movement, building, or editing, and instead of always practicing the same flashy things in creative because you're comfortable, bunch up all your weaknesses you have found and apply them in your creative routine a little more often now. And basically, just playing the game won't really make you that much better. Yes, it'll help you to a certain extent, but that's the extent that the average Fortnite player will be around to if he's got a similar creative routine and plays arena for hours and hours. You'll just be as good as that next player you go up against. You need to be working on your weaknesses and just figure out what you're doing wrong to definitely start being a great player. Lastly, guys, I want to get into confidence. Now, playing with confidence is huge. If you're always unsure of taking fights and would rather just avoid them altogether and just play for endgame, well, that's an issue. Yeah, if you're trying to get champs, then playing for placement in endgame is what you want to do. But if you're not even making it to endgame because you're getting pushed or you push and you're not confident in the fight that's about to happen and you just die every time, then you'll have a very hard time simply getting to endgame. So you want to build up that confidence in game by W keying. If you're already in champs, then switch up the mentality of just boxing up and rotating for points end game, and work on improving your W key playstyle once in a while, especially if you want to prepare playing in cash cups or big tournaments. A lot of these players you'd go up against have built up the confidence and know what to do when pushing other players or getting pushed by other players. You want to rewatch your VODs and apply everything I've talked about. Figure out your weaknesses and work on improving them. Maybe you could have played the fight differently. So by just watching your gameplay, you maybe could have made a better decision to win the fight. Or maybe you should have not taken that fight as it wasn't a smart idea in the first place. But it's some decision you could have done to win that fight. Well guys, that's it for this video. Remember to get uncomfortable and work on those weaknesses you have, because nothing hard comes easy. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, then you know, and I know you're truly putting in the work. This is your year, so let's take it to the next level. Well guys, hopefully you have a great rest of your day and night, and I'll see you guys on the next one.